Hey, Taurus, thanks for joining me for your May reading. I'm Madeline, just in case we haven't met before. So, before I've even pulled your cards, Spirit was whispering to me that you are going to be or potentially end up in quite an enviable position. That was the phrase that they were using. So, congratulations. Also, happy birthday to my May Taurians. Happy solar return to all Taurians. My job as a witch is to now remind you this is your personal new year. Screwed January 1st. This is the most potent time for you to be designing your year ahead, and that's how Spirit is jumping in and putting it. So, put some focus on that. And know that when you are in an enviable position or on your way to this enviable position, you want to be gracious. And I don't think I need to remind most Taurians of that. But, as the hosts and hostesses with the mosts and mostesses, you know that some graciousness can be inviting. Okay, all right. Spirit's doing plenty of talking. Let's get into these dynamics. Let us see what is showing up for Taurus in the month of May and what Spirit most wants you to know, both about yourself and about the guidance for you this month as you navigate those dynamics. Spirit, thank you. Our prayer is always to help Taurus step into truth, abundance, fulfillment, security, joy. So what do they need to know for their highest good? Oh, these cards are jumping. What do they need to know for their highest good in the month of May? Spirit. Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising and Dominant folks. Pardon my cat sounding like she's being held captive. She's outside and she desperately wants in. Woo! Speaking of jumping cards. Okay. We're almost there, Taurus. Thank you for bearing with me in my conversation with Spirit. Just a couple more, please, for Taurus. And we want to know, what is the key to opening up the treasures of this month, Spirit? Dissolving any blockages, facing any challenges, so that Taurus can come out on top in the month of May. Okay. Wow. You need to know, Taurus, before I show you these cards, which I will pop up a photo for you right here, that I have shuffled them an infinite number of times. So to see the Two of Wands sitting in the past and then the Three of Wands sitting in the present, it's like you're taking a step at a time. Very Taurian behavior. Whew. Beautiful cards. I can see, I love how Spirit always jumps in and gives the information that we need to know. I'm looking at that Five of Wands in the hopes and fears, and it's like, an enviable position. People looking at you, throwing your hat in the ring, doing your own thing, feeling a little jealous, maybe throwing a little bit of shade, maybe throwing a little bit of defensiveness. Don't mind them. Your persona card for this month is the Queen of Wands. The magnanimous nature is off the charts. Talk about hostess with the mostest / host with the most. If you've been here before, Queen, King, Page, Knight. Nothing to do with sex or gender. Everything to do with personality type. So if you are, for example, a man tuning in and the Queen of Wands is showing up as your persona card, we're talking about your inner world and your inner circle. We're talking about your creativity, as opposed to, let's say, the edifice that you put up that the whole world can see, like a king. So making your magic is a massive part of being the Queen of Wands. You can see her sitting there with her black cat, her magical black cat. How can you help other people shine? That's something that Spirit is asking. They're also using the word recruiter. Great time to say, Taurus. These are general readings, but I'm an intuitive reader. I listen to Spirit. They report. I share with you. And so some things that are going to come through are very specific and may resonate with certain Taurians and not others, and that's okay. If something brings up more questions than answers, my rule of thumb is to leave that aside thinking, okay, either that's for another Taurus or I don't know about that yet, so I don't need to worry about it. You have a choice to make, and it feels like most of you have made the decision to step into the ring, and that's how Spirit is putting it. I don't feel that this is necessarily in every way about a fight. I mean, a competition, a healthy competition. Again, Five of Wands. Let's compare wands. I'm a classy lady, so I'm not going to say it's a dick measuring contest. You are not in that energy because, again, you are the Queen of Wands. You don't have to compare. You already know you're on top. You already know you're in an enviable position. I want to say congratulations. This is such a beautiful spread. It's kind of like I can see why Spirit started it with you're going to be in an enviable position, because that's kind of the only, if I want to call it friction here, is that some people either may not understand or may have their own projections and assumptions about you or what you do or whatever. Leave all of that aside. Create for the ones who resonate with you, support you. I don't mean create like an echo chamber. I mean that when you are going into a room to speak to people, let's just say big Queen of Wands energy, or putting out a video on the internet for everybody to enjoy, or whatever it is, it serves you to be creating for the people who are already bought in. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't need to, for example, I'm not out here making a bunch of videos about why hardcore fundamentalist Christians should really like give up the ghost and start looking at tarot cards. Why would I do that? They don't want what I have. So I go to the people who want what I have. You know what I'm talking about? And people absolutely fucking want what you have. You see these cards. Don't got to be a tarot reader to see all this money growing. This Emperor card sitting in the key position. Spirit is using the phrase, know your place. And they mean that enviable position, that natural leadership that both you and the Emperor possess. There's a bold new path opening up for you, and this is the choice that I feel either some of you have recently made or you're in the course of making it over the month of May. It looks fertile. It's young. That's what I want to say, is like this thing is in its infancy, or your steps onto this path. It's like it's only the beginning, and in a positive way. Yes, there may be a long quote unquote way to go, but you're the Queen of Wands, and we see the Five of Wands here. You have everything it takes. So for those, so for those few Taurians who are like, I don't know if I have what it takes, because, you know, fixed sign energy, not a typical problem for Taurians, but for those that do have a little bit of that, you have what it takes. So let me just tell you, and the support exists out there for you. You will be celebrating with friends about what happens with this Three of Wands. Hello. New camera, pardon me. The guidance for you, 10 of Pentacles, building a foundation. It very matches up with the Emperor in the key position. The key meaning what unlocks this amazing Three of Wands path that is opening up, that leads to me being with more community. That's what I'm also hearing. I mean, hostess and slash host with the most. Three of Cups. Who are you getting together? And especially to see a 3 followed by a 3, there's some emphasis here around community and around also manifestation. You know, you take one person, they can have a good idea. You bring another person into the room and they bounce that idea around and something wholly new can be born, right? So like 3 is related to the Empress. All the 3s are the descendants of the Empress. So ultimate, creative, dynamic, exciting energy. And the energy around and available to you. Growth, money, a sprouting, a sense of also, it's like the apprentice on the verge of mastery of their craft and of recognition is also what I'm hearing. And Spirit is saying something really important, which is you do not need to be recognized by other people to act as a leader and be in your enviable position, because acting with authenticity, with honor, with courage, creativity, compassion, and curiosity is your crowning glory in the month of May. It doesn't matter, you know, if you end up at the end of the... Listen, I pray for you that you end up at the end of the month with like a huge fat sum in your bank account that you weren't expecting and such. But if you arrive at the end of the month and you've had a creative breakthrough and you haven't yet seen any of the green shoots pop out of the ground that are actual money or feedback to whatever it is that you're creating, but you are creating, then you have won. That is your crowning glory. Courage, compassion, curiosity. Let's throw creativity. Okay? 4 C's. Keep those in mind this month, Taurus, and success will be yours. 10 of Pentacles, this will go on beyond you. Some of you are building something that you want to pass on to your kids. Generational wealth, or a literal, like a foundation as in nonprofit or business or etc. big Taurus energy. Not surprising during your solar return era for you to be in your bag, get in a bag. Trust that you have what it takes, and that if there's anything that you need to know, Emperor, you have what it takes to build it. Think about, and I don't have to belabor this with Taurians, but I will just say, sometimes we've got a Taurus something, and then we got a bunch of air signs. You know what I mean? And we need a little help tapping into Taurus. Think about what are the small, unsexy steps that lead up to that big, sexy, glorious, ultimate goal. Three of Wands. It's opening up for you. You already have what it takes. I feel like you've already been at this for a bit. You have what it takes. Keep going. Looks exciting. Opportunities abound. Community opens up for you. I'm excited for you, Taurus. How do you feel? How's this sitting on you? Any thoughts, questions, stories, reflections coming up as you talk to your village witch? I'm very curious to hear. I would deeply appreciate if you do want to share anything in the comments below. And if you ever want to get a personal reading, the way to do that is also just south of this video. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, Taurus. I hope this reading serves you well all month long. Be bold and have fun. And if I don't see you before then I hope I will see you in your mid-month reading. Bye, Taurus.